and that why she was called an elect lady is because she was elected to preside. Elder Taylor, would you now please set apart the elect lady and her counselors?
Mrs. Sarah Cleveland. Sarah Cleveland, I ordain you to be counselor to the elect lady, even Mrs. Emma Smith, to counsel and assist her in all things pertaining to her office. Amen. Mrs. Elizabeth Whitney, I ordain you to be a counselor to Mrs. Smith, the president of this institution, with all the privilege pertaining to the office. Amen. Emma Hale Smith, I bless you and ordain you to all the blessings which have been conferred upon you, that you might be a mother in Israel and look to the wants of needy, and to be a lantern of virtue and possess all the qualifications necessary for you to stand and preside and exemplify your office, to teach the females these principles requisite for their further usefulness. Amen.
I propose that Elder Taylor now vacate the chair and the elect lady and her counselors take their places. The proper form for addressing the chair is now Mrs. Chairman or President, not Mr. Chairman. Whatever the majority of the House decides upon becomes a law to this society. I counsel you, do not injure the character of anyone. If members of the society should conduct themselves improperly, deal with them and keep all your dealings within your own bosoms and hold all characters sacred.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I propose that we go into an investigation respecting what the society should be called.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that the society be called the Nauvoo Female Relief Society.
I second it.
It has been moved and seconded that the society be called the Nauvoo Female Relief Society. Is there any discussion on the question? Mr. Taylor, you can take a seat.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on the question?
I'm sorry. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move to amend the motion that it be called the Nauvoo Female Benevolent Society, which would give a more definite and extended idea of the institution.
The chair would like an argument with Elder Taylor on the words of relief and benevolent.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
benevolent is a popular term, and the term relief is not known among the popular societies. Relief is more extended in its signification than benevolent, and might extend to the liberation of the culprit, and might be wrongly constrained by our enemies. To say that the society was to relieve criminals from punishment, to relieve a murder, which would not be a benevolent act.
The popularity of the word benevolent is one great objection. No person can think of the word as associated with public institutions without thinking of the Washingtonian Benevolent Society, which is one of the most corrupt organizations of the day. We do not wish to have it called after societies of the world.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I have no objection to the word relief. On this question, we ought to deliberate candidly and investigate all objects.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
as concurring to the question before the House, I suggest that we should not regard the idle speech of our enemies. We design to act in the name of the Lord, to relieve the wants of the distressed, and to do all the good we can.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I feel to concur with you, now the President, with regard to the word benevolent, that in many societies with which it has been appreciated are corrupt, and that the popular institutions of the day should not be our guide. As daughters of Zion, we should set an example for all the world, rather than confine ourselves to the course which has been hereto followed. An objection to the word relief is that the idea associated with it is that of some great calamity. Well, we intend appropriating on some extraordinary occasions instead of meeting the common occurrences.
Yes, sisters. We are going to do something extraordinary. When a boat is stuck on a rapid with a multitude of Mormons on board, then we shall consider that a loud call for relief. We expect extraordinary occasions and pressing calls.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I shall have to concede the point. Your arguments are so potent that I cannot stand before them. I shall have to give way.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I also shall have to concede the point, and all I shall have to give to the poor, I shall give to this society.
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that this society be called the Nauvoo Female Relief Society.
I second
It has been moved and seconded that this society be called the Nauvoo Female Relief Society. Is there any debate?
Mrs. Chairman,
Yes.
I move to amend the motion by a transposition of words. Instead of the Nauvoo Female Relief Society, it should be called the Female Relief Society of Nauvoo.
I second it.
It has been moved and seconded that this society be called the Female Relief Society of Nauvoo. All those in favor, raise your hands. All opposed? It appears the motion has been carried.
And now proclaim the society organized, with president and councilors, and all who shall hereafter be admitted into this society must be free from censure and received by vote. I offer $5 in gold to commence the funds of this institution. And I propose that the gentlemen withdraw from the room while the females proceed to the choice of secretary and treasurer.